think. Okay, we call the meeting to order. Ask for the approval of the agenda. Moved by Bob, second by Marilyn. All those in favor? Carried. Any additions or deletions to the agenda? Declaration of conflict of interest, general nature thereof. Is there any?
No.
Let the record show there is none. Adoption of minutes. Moved by Marilyn, seconded by Bob. Any discussion, errors or omission in those minutes? The only thing I noticed was it said staff present. I know Jason wasn't here. And I think Emma should ought to be included in. That's the only thing I noticed. That okay?
Yes.
Okay, severance application V37-2023. No, that's not it. What have we got going now? I'm in the wrong. Here we are. Here we are. Yep. Sorry about that. B61-2023. Talk 595 Cragen Road. Want to join us at the table, please? Emma, you want to give us a preamble of this, please?
Absolutely. Application B61 2023 is proposing to sever a 1.1 hectare parcel from 595 Cragen Road. It has an area of 66 meters, or sorry, a frontage of 66 meters on Cragen Road, and it's developed with a single family dwelling. The retained parcel will retain an area of 19 hectares and approximately 130 meters on Cragen Road. It's developed with an existing accessory structures, including 2 sheds and a vacant storage barn. So the property is designated rural in the county and township's official plans. There is provincially significant wetland far in the rear of the property, but the proposed severed lot and existing development is outside of the 120-meter setback. So there's no negative impacts to the natural heritage features anticipated. We did review the application with compliance with the minimum distance separation guidelines. So the barn on the subject property on the retained lands, if considered an unoccupied livestock barn, would generate a setback. So as a condition of consent, it's been required that the owner apply for a change of use permit to prohibit the keeping of livestock, and that has been undertaken already by the owner. We received an MDS calculation for the adjacent property at 655 Cragen Road. We did follow up with the owner to confirm that the information in that calculation was correct and did an updated calculation, which is shown in the planning report. And there is a 0.5 hectare building envelope outside of the MDS arc generated from the barn at 655 Cragen Road. So based on this, the proposed severance does comply with MDS. I'll note that any building permits for residential uses on the retained will be required to comply with the MDS setback. The proposed severed and retained lots do meet the minimum lot areas for the rural zone in the Township of Stone Mills zoning bylaw, and there's adequate lot area that future development on the severed and retained parcels can comply with the bylaw. So based on this, the proposals for an existing dwelling, there's an existing well and septic. No adverse impacts are anticipated. The proposal conforms with the policies of the provincial policy statement, the County of Lennox and Addington official plan, and this Township of Stone Mills official plan, pending the noted conditions are satisfied. Thank you.
Thank you, Emma. Anyone have any concerns or questions from the committee?
Yeah, I have a concern. I realize that the application of the severance hits all the high points, frontage area and this type of thing. What I don't understand is why the created severance line has to bisect that circular driveway. It makes no sense to me as to why they picked 66 meters of frontage, which is 216 feet. So examining the severance application, it's on the screen there. It took me a couple minutes to realize that what's happened here is that the surveyor has gone ahead and massaged that line such that he get the minimum frontage and the minimum 70 meters at the rear, such that they clear the building by 6 meters, which is the minimum setback requirement. Now we're looking at 50 wide open acres here. We got 640 meters of road frontage. Why to God's green earth do we have to go to minimum? You know, can you put that sketch up for me, please, Cindy? Oops, got to go up a little bit. Keep going. Keep going. Okay, the first thing I said to myself is, why did they not do this? This makes sense to me. You know, this is a sensible thing. You've got an existing condition. You got an, you know, this would have made sense as a proper severance application. It just bothers me, you know, like, why? As I say, 50 acres, wide open, lots of frontage, you know, why do we have to go, you know, to extreme minimums? It doesn't make sense to me. You and I talked about this when I was there and talked to you. I don't understand.
With you at that point, because a lot of room on the left side of the property was 100 feet to go to the back of the property. And the setback is 6 meters, which is required. There's no reason that severance can be denied based on the fact that it has a circular driveway. You need an entrance to the property. Does not require that it has to have a circular driveway on the property.
Oh, I realize that. That's not what I'm getting at.
And it means that this is, what you say, you are going against your own bylaws. That's severance requirements.
No, it's just, I told you that this just agrees with everything. I just don't,
But
I just can't understand why this would not have made more sense.
why would you insist that somebody should have bigger frontage or go to all the circular driveway when by law legally we require a proper entrance to the property? It has to be theta entrance, not circular entrance. Will you make every severance should be capable to have a circular driveway?
No, it just already exists. It's already there.
Yeah, but that was a big driveway. Circular, there's a lot of room to make it still circular driveway. Why would you spend more than that?
Yeah.
We did
Well-
6 meters, we did 6 meters from the house and see on the left side, how much room is there to go to the back of the property?
Just didn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense to me on the fact that you have so much room there. You have so much acreage. You know, why would you squeeze it to the absolute minimum? You know, this is okay if you're in middle of Napanee.
If you look at the left side of the property, did you ever look at it, how much room is there?
On the left side of the property?
Yeah. More than 100 feet.
I know, but we're talking basically the minimum, the reason the surveyor arrived at these dimensions is so he could create a line that was exactly 6 meters off the house, which is the exact minimum required under the zoning. That's why you have that. So you just cut the driveway in half or cut it off and away you go. Anyways, that's my concern. That's my feeling on the matter. What I was going to do is I was going to make a motion that the frontage be increased to approximately 73 meters to include the circular driveway, and that the provision to remove the driveway be removed from the conditions of severance. I don't, that's,
It means you're just going based your own minimum bylaw requirement, right? Did you have passed any bylaw that it should be required that much for each property?
we have on occasions to change property lines and severance lines to fit existing conditions, and this is to me is to me is the same thing. So I've made that motion, Chairman.
Okay, is there anyone else have any concerns or questions? We do have a motion by Dieter. Do we have a seconder for that motion? Calling once. Calling twice. Calling 3 times. Motion is lost. Yes, Bob?
We can't go along, just change rules and regulations just to meet our own license. We have to go what's on that paper, survey was done, it meets the minimum standard. I don't know why we're even considering.
You have anything to say, Emma?
I'll just note that staff are in support of or it's my professional planning opinion that the application as presented is fully supportable.
Thank you. Anyone else have any concerns or questions? Yes, Aaron?
Just regarding the correspondence that was shared with the committee today, is the landowner present that submitted their concern?
No.
Who are you looking for, Aaron?
It's Jennifer Cook.
Not that I'm aware. Marilyn, do you have your hand up?
Yes, I did. I will say that I understand where Dieter's coming from, and I did talk to Mr. Tonk, and he explained to me that this is what he wanted, and that in fact he was going to move that driveway, and so because I was thinking much the same thing. Well, you could go up the side, but it doesn't really affect it in any way except for aesthetics, saving you a few bucks for putting in a new driveway, or maybe costing you more because maybe now you have to do a new survey. I don't know that, but I can't see that it makes a big difference. And secondly, about the letter, and I thought maybe Emma could address that for us. Oh, just to add, is Mr. Tonk aware of this letter? No. Should he?
Yes, so we did receive a letter of correspondence from the adjacent property owner who had some concerns with the application as proposed. We have reviewed the letter, and the proposal does comply with MDS. It meets all the minimums in the township's official plan and zoning bylaw. So still recommendation from staff would be as presented. With respect to reduced or changing the frontage to accommodate the circular driveway, we'll just note that due to the MDS setback, it's likely preferred and to maintain a larger area outside of the MDS setback on the retained lands. So just put that to committee's consideration, and as well note that there are conditions to handle the circular driveway so that there's only one entrance per each lot.
Wait a second. Well, as far as I'm concerned, it meets all the conditions that's necessary. As far as this letter goes, we can't police that. And it's nothing concerning the rules and regulars evidence. Yes, Aaron, you had your hand up?
Yeah, I'm willing to put forward a motion to approve as written.
Second, moved by Aaron, seconded by Bob, that we approve this application. Yes, Marilyn?
Just one more little comment. In speaking with Mr. Tonk yesterday, he was talking about moving the driveway, but I'm hearing Emma say something like you only have one entrance per property? Is that?
Oh,
going
sorry,
to-
yes. Yeah, the condition is to ensure that there's one entrance, like one on the severed, one on the retained, to avoid the driveway crossing over the severed lot line.
So, in other words, can Mr. Tonk actually move that and still have a circular driveway because he'd have two entrances onto that retained parcel?
Yep, subject to approval by Township Public Works. They would need to apply for the entrance permits.
Okay.
That's included.
We
in
talked
our-
about that yesterday. Yeah, okay.
That's included in item 4.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay,
Just
we
clarify.
have a motion moved by Aaron and seconded by Bob. Let's call the vote. All those in favor? Carry. You're on your way, sir. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
B 67-2024, starring 61 Inglesby Road. Emma?
All right, thank you. So consent application B67-2023 proposes to sever an approximately 0.139 hectare parcel and add it to the adjacent parcel, known municipally as 380 Inglesby Road. So the proposed severed parcel has an area of 0.139 hectares. There is no frontage, but it does have frontage on a private lane. The parcel to receive the additional lands has approximately 863 square meters with 31 meters of frontage on White Lake and is developed with a dwelling. So the purpose of this severance is to increase the size of an existing undersized lot and provide area to develop a garage and septic in the future. The retained lands will have an area of 818 hectares and will have their 67 meters of split frontage on White Lake Road. So the property is designated as a rural area in the County of Lennox and Addington official plan. It is designated rural in the township official plan. So both the proposed and existing uses are permitted by the township official plan. There is some provincially significant wetland adjacent to the subject lands. However, we'll note that any future development within the 120 meters of the provincially significant wetland may be subject to evaluation and may require a permit from Quinte Conservation. The subject property is zoned rural within the township zoning bylaw and is developed with a single detached dwelling, which will remain on the retained lands. The severed lands are to be added to a parcel that is zoned residential limited service and will be subject to a zoning bylaw application to avoid split zoning of the parcel. It's the understanding that a garage and septic are proposed for the severed lands to service the existing dwelling in the future. With the proposed lot addition, there's adequate lot area for proposed development to comply with the provisions of the bylaw, including the 30-meter setback. So we did not receive any public comments on this application. And based on this review, the proposed consent is consistent with the intent of the provincial policy statement, conforms to the policies of the County of Lennox and Addington official plan and the Stone Mills official plan as it permits lot additions and the provision of the township zoning bylaw. So based on this, the recommendation is to approve.
Thank you. Concerns or questions from the committee? No? Okay, we need a motion. Moved by Bob, second by Merrill. Anybody in the audience have any concerns on this severance? Or a lot addition, I should say? I don't see anyone here to represent them. Okay. Been moved by Bob and was seconded by Marilyn. Right? Any other concerns, questions? Call the vote. All those in favor? Carried. B 68-2023A, Perry and Graham. Marlene, you want to join us at the table, please? Emma, you're on again.
Just to confirm, Bob, would you like me to speak to them together or separately?
How's the committee want? As far as I'm concerned, it can be handled together.
Yes.
Okay.
Agreed.
Okay. Great. So consent applications B68A 23 and B68B 23 proposed to sever an approximately 1,030 square meter parcel with 25.6 meters of road frontage on County Road 14 and add a portion to each adjacent property at 2862 County Road 14 and 2868 County Road 14. So the proposed parcel to be severed is an existing lot of record that is vacant. The proposal effectively seeks to divide the property down the middle and add each severed piece to the adjacent lands to increase the lot areas of each adjacent property. So severed parcel A has an area of 515 square meters with 12.81 meters of frontage on County Road 14. The parcel to receive the lot addition has an area of approximately 0.1 hectares and 25.6 meters of County Road 14 and is developed with an existing single detached dwelling and accessory structure. Separate parcel B is 515 square meters with 12.81 meters of frontage on County Road 14 and is also vacant. It will be added to the lands at 2868 County Road 14 that have an area of approximately 986 square meters and 26.2 meters of frontage on County Road 14. So through this application, the applicant seeking to exsolve the existing undeveloped parcel and increase the lot area and lot frontage of the two adjacent properties. Each existing adjacent property is already developed and no new development is proposed in conjunction with this application. The proposed development meets the intent of the Stone Mills official plan as it permits severances for boundary adjustments and lot additions. The subject properties are zoned hamlet residential within zoning bylaw 2014-744 as amended and is vacant. No new developments proposed as part of this application. The proposed severed parcels will contribute additional lot area and frontage to the adjacent benefiting parcels, which are both existing legal non-complying with regard to area and lot frontage. So overall, the severance will be increasing the lot areas and improving the existing situation. Any future development on each parcel will be required to comply with the provisions of the bylaw, and there's adequate lot area to do so. We received no comments from the public, and so based on this recommendation is that the proposed severance and lot additions B68A and B68B at 2023 be approved as they comply with the provincial policy statement, the County of Lennox and Addington official plan, the Township of Stone Mills official plan, and the provisions of the township zoning bylaw pending the noted conditions are satisfied.
Thanks, Emma. Concerns or questions from the committee? No?
Just wanted to say it's a good use of those two small parcels, which I don't know what the heck they were intended for, but this is a much better use.
A typical village lot. Is that what it was, Marlene? Okay.
Separated into two, but there was no room to ever do anything with the lots again.
Okay. All right, need a mover and a seconder. Moved by Dieter, seconded by Bob, that we for B 68-2023 and B 68-2023B, both of them be included in your motion?
Yes.
Okay. Any further concerns or questions from anyone? All those in favor? Carried. Have a good evening, Marlene. A nice way to tidy things up. A nice way to tidy things up. Yeah. BO 1-2024, Detler, 245 Miller Road. You're on again, Emma.
All right, consent application, BO1 2024, seeks to sever one parcel for residential purposes. The proposed severed lot has an area of 1.11 hectares with 111 meters of frontage on Miller Road. The proposed retained land will keep 47 hectares of lot area with approximately 1,108 meters of frontage on Miller Road. The retained is developed with a single detached dwelling, barn, and garage. So the purpose of the severance is to create a new lot for residential development. No new development is proposed for the retained as part of this application. So from our review, the proposal meets the intent of the provincial policy statement as it will be serviced by a rural infrastructure, private well and septic. It's designated rural in the county of Lennox and Addington, as well as the township of Stone Mills official plan. We will note it is in an area of identified bedrock resources, but based on comments provided by the Ministry of Mines, the proposed resource use would not be feasible due to the extent of existing development in the area. The township official plan will note too that the portion of the lands are designated locally significant wetlands and woodlands. However, no development is proposed within these areas, and the proposed severed lot is well outside of the adjacent land, so no negative impacts are anticipated. Quinte Conservation has reviewed and has noted that through this application, the applicant would need to apply to the Conservation Authority for development on the retained if the development is within 120 meters of the wetland boundary. So in accordance with the Township of Stone Mills, a maximum of 3 residential lots may be created. Prior consent report was submitted in 2021. So this proposed severances within the permitted number of severances. And with respect to MDS, a minimum distance separation investigation was completed, and there is adequate area outside of the MDS setbacks for the proposed lot to comply. So the proposal complies with MDS. And with respect to the township zoning bylaw, they're zoned rural. The severed and retained are zoned rural. The proposed severed parcel meets the minimum lot area and frontage requirements for residential uses in the zoning bylaw, and there's adequate lot area on the retained for any future development to comply with the required setbacks. We received no public comments from this application. So based on this, it's my professional planning opinion that the proposed severance is consistent with the intent of the provincial policy statement, conforms to the policies of the County of Lennox and Addington official plan, Township of Stone Mills official plan, and provisions of the township zoning bylaw, provided the noted conditions are met. Thank you.
Emma. Questions or concerns from the committee? Yes, dear.
You always look at me. As you all know, I am no great fan of hand-drawn sketches. I was trying to figure out how you got exactly 111.25 meters of frontage. Of course, I did the conversion to feet, 365 feet, so I understand how that came about. The only question I do have is the north boundary. I'm going to show you a sketch here if you don't mind. Same idea. I'm assuming that you're using this as the boundary line for the service?
Yes.
The actual fence line,
The fence
not
line.
a few meters before. the
No,
fence line.
actually, we're including the fence line
All right,
in
okay.
the,
All right.
and they're okay with that. Yeah.
the same thing, you know, we've done this before, we've moved the severance line to hit the fence, you know? I didn't want the severance line to be, 5 meters off the fence line. Great, that's it. Yeah, no, that's fine. That satisfies, my questions, and I'm quite satisfied with the application.
Are you satisfied?
Yes,
dear?
I am.
Bonus. Anyone else have any concerns or questions? The applicant have any questions? No? Okay, I need a mover in a second. Oh, Dieter, thank you. Do I have a seconder? Bob? Any other questions or concerns? Call for the vote. All those in favor? Carried. Have a good evening, people.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Anyone have any other concerns or questions for the committee here this evening? No? Do we have anything else on the agenda for another meeting or? Do do we have anything on the back burner for another meeting, Cindy, or not? Okay,
We're hoping the first few weeks of May, we can schedule something if members are available.
so,
The first few weeks of May, we're working on getting an application from a previous meeting on the first few weeks of May. But at this time, it's just the one application.
so you'll be staying with us, Emma?
Yes, I believe so.
Didn't catch it.
Sorry, yes, I believe, yes, we will be here for the next meeting,
Okay,
to be confirmed.
well, it's been a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone have any concerns or questions as far as this evening goes? Ask for a motion to adjourn. Moved by Bob, seconded by Aaron. Thank you. Everyone have a good evening. Brandon.